Just kidding. We're back. We're back.
We're back in. We wanted to watch the end of the game.
There's
not a lot of fans left of the game. Wow, there's nobody there. DJ Primo coming in to close it out here. Hopefully Jay doesn't make a pitching change in the ninth, in the middle of the ninth.
I can't imagine he would. You know what?
Yes, you can.
I can't imagine it.
How about Cade saying 4 hours and 40 minutes? That's unbelievable.
For what? Was that
I don't know.
intentional?
That's what I'm saying.
In 9 innings. It wasn't extra innings, nothing. Yeah. 4 hours and 40 minutes seems excessive. As a player, I feel like I would have been tapped out at that point.
I'm trying to find our stream to make sure that
I'm
we're
working
live.
on it too.
Are we in there? Are we live?
We're good? We're checking. Bear with us, y'all. But while we're waiting, I am going to shout out Don Juan again for putting up with us and dealing with the back and forth and all the BS that comes with the live show.
For hosting us, too.
Yeah, for hosting. For
nice play.
Top of
nice
9.
play. Love that.
The cigars that I hit. Do you hit a cigar? You don't.
No, I don't think you hit a cigar. No, you puff a cigar?
You puff a cigar?
You puff
I puffed twice before I put it down. Do you have to relight it?
Yeah, you would have to relight it, yeah.
I'm not going to because we only have matches and I'm absolutely
saying
not going to try to
live.
do that.
All right, we're live. It says we were live. Yeah, we're in there.
Good.
We're in there.
So shout out to Don Juan for hosting us for these midweeks. And shout out to 7-3 St. Rock Vodka for supporting the show, supporting Valley Vision, Culture Media. We couldn't do it without our sponsors. We're very grateful.
He's doing it.
No shot.
I called it.
No shot.
He threw one pitch.
Yo, Jay Johnson is
He threw
DJ
one
Primo.
pitch.
One singular pitch in the top of the ninth
Look at that
inning.
body language by Primo. He's like, okay, cool.
What was the point of that? No, seriously, that is a genuine question.
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. I really have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea.
It's a commercial break. You throw a pitcher in for one pitch in the top of the ninth inning.
I don't have an answer.
Okay, well, I mean, Cade did talk about how Jay really likes to slow the game down, but I mean, it's 9:30 on a Tuesday. They started at 6:30.
He wants his 3-hour game. He wants it to be more than 3 hours. But I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. Wow. Unless he's just trying to get some people some reps. I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't think I'd be too keen on that if I'm the pitcher that threw one pitch.
I'm not too keen on that as a fan. I'm going to be honest with you. This is boring. This is annoying. That's why there's nobody in the stands right now. I don't think Jay cares about that, but I mean, like, man, that's the product of baseball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Cade,
that's annoying.
Excuse me. Cade talked about, like, slowing it down to, like, I guess, do things the right way or whatever, but I feel like that's kind of contradictory or, like.
I'm not going to lie. I've never heard that. Like, I've never heard we're going to try to control the pace of the game. Like, it's not basketball. This isn't like, hey, that team's so much better than us, and so we're going to limit their possessions. Like, everybody gets the same amount of bats, like, and the same amount of outs. Like, why is he trying to slow down the game? Like, I'm curious. I wonder if Jay would ever come on the show and explain that to us. Like, honestly.
We should look into that.
I'm serious. I think, I need answers because I've played baseball a long time, and I've never heard that.
Fidel Ulloa on the mound.
Best mustache in the game?
Yeah. Travinski's in there.
I don't know. He's got some curls in it.
I know.
There's some wax.
Curl in the edge. We're still trying to get him on up and in. Schedules have been crazy, but we're working on it.
We have nobody in the chat right now. It's just you and me.
Well, we can hang out for a second.
Oh boy.
How many
looks
pitching
clipped.
changes? Oh no.
Unbelievable. Like, why are we making pitching changes in the ninth inning? Like, just let the guy ride
There's
out.
There's a bomb for Southeastern.
There's 38 people at the game right now. Like, that's unbelievable.
Again, a Tuesday at 9:30. Why are we?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
what are the odds? What are the odds he makes another pitching change?
If he makes another pitching change, we're turning the game off.
I mean, Ulloa just gave up a bomb, so. Yikes. Okay, well, let's talk about this team. The last show we had, they were going into their last game, or they were playing their last game against Florida. Obviously, that didn't work out in their favor. 12-2, they lose this series. Florida.
They got 10 run on Sunday, too.
I know. You kind of asked Cade, what are you adjusting if you're Jay Johnson? You're in a little bit of a rut, right? College baseball is college baseball. This is part of the game. But if you're Jay Johnson, what adjustments are you making? Does it come down to pitching? Like, what does it look like?
I think you saw it a little bit in the lineup today. I think you got to shuffle the lineup around. They got 4 hits or something like that, right, on Sunday. Nice. That was a nice pitch. Good bounce back from a home run. You love seeing that. That's huge. But yeah, no, I'm shuffling the lineup up, and I don't know. I'm giving Cade Anderson a start on Sunday. Again, I know I keep saying the same thing, or I'm only letting Thatcher Hurd go through the lineup one time. That's what I said on Jordy Holtberg's show yesterday when I went on the radio with him. Thatcher Hurd's a stud. The dude's going to pitch in the major leagues. I really do believe that. Going to be a high-round pick. Tigers win. Nice. That's nice. There we go. Good win for the boys.
8-4.
8-4.
You saw your boy Jake Brown was in, right?
Was he?
Yeah, he ended up.
Well, he should be in the starting lineup. That's one of the things right there. That's him. I would like to see him on the mound, too. Like, the dude is a stud. So, again, I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors and everything like that, but I would like to see Jake Brown get some at-bats. To me, when he started he started opening day. I don't know, and he didn't do anything to lose that spot. So he's batting over 300 still. They pinch run him, which means that he's got good wheels. Put him at the top of the order and see what happens while Paxton Kling is struggling a little bit. Take some pressure off him. Put him in the bottom of the order. I don't care. Like, let him set up for the top of the order guys. I don't know. So little things like that. And I would shake up the rotation in that sense, like I said. And I think the real thing that we're trying to figure out, and maybe that's why Jay is giving so many guys some options or some opportunity midweek, is we're trying to figure out who our bullpen guys are. Who are those guys that we need when we need to stop the bleeding, when we need to close out an inning? Who are our strikeout guys? Who are our high leverage guys? Those are the things that I think we're trying to figure out, and that good teams definitely have. And that's what the whole season is for. Is by midway through SEC, towards the end of SEC, rolling into the postseason, everybody has their roles, and it's kind of defined by opportunities and things like that. So I'm hoping that's what Jay's doing with all these guys, kind of in the mix during the midweek.
What's up, Carl?
Carl Dunn. Carl the cat. What up, baby? What are your thoughts on Jay Johnson making Austin? Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
We took a little break. We had
Austin, do you ever watch any of the LSU baseball games?
Yeah, okay, question.
Yeah.
Like, obviously LSU is a brand, not just baseball, but like, does it reach up there to New Jersey? Like, is it crazy to ask Austin?
ESPN3 is pretty universal at this point.
Stop. I didn't mean like literally reach up there.
They have these things where you can pay money
care?
for a subscription. Yes, they care. Austin, are you a fan of LSU baseball?
Okay, well, unfortunately, I turned it on for the Florida game.
See, so he does watch.
That is quite unfortunate.
But no, in all seriousness, I think there's a lot of – Austin, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I talked to him on the phone a couple weeks ago. We were FaceTiming or we were talking on the phone, and he was talking about Tommy Tanks, right? He, knew who he was. He knew the name. I think social media is a big thing for these kids, too. They follow them on social. They look up to these guys in high school. They have access to them via YouTube. How many people make college baseball clips nowadays, right? When I was growing up, I didn't know any of the college baseball players. I didn't, all I saw was them in Omaha, maybe. But again, as a kid from Jersey, I didn't care that much about Omaha. I really didn't. I was watching the Yankees and I was watching MLB. And I know Austin does too, because, they're from New Jersey and they watch a lot of Yankee games. But as a high school baseball player, that next step is college baseball. And when it's all over YouTube, when it's all over these streaming things, and there is an opportunity to watch the Dylan Cruzes, the Paul Skeens, the Tommy Whites, I think they're doing it. But
Carl said he likes what Johnson.
All right, what did you like about it, Carl? I'm curious.
Me too.
Because I'm
We're not high up on the pitching changes.
Yeah, not a big fan of the pitching changes. Maybe he's talking about shaking up the lineup. That's that. I am a fan of that.
You said that before we even got here. When we
looked
at the lineup.
I would like to see Ethan Fry get more at bats. I like his game. He's a big dude too, 6'3", 6'4". I like him at the top of the order. He's got a physical presence that starts the game off the right way. So we're gonna need hitters this weekend.
Yeah, Arkansas. Okay. So
no, I think
it is.
Yeah, it's Arkansas. Yeah. At Arkansas, right?
Yep. Ew. On the road against Arkansas. Ew. They're ranked one.
Ranked. Yeah, they're number 1 in the country. Number 1, 2, something like that. I don't know what they did this past weekend, but they are top 5 for sure.
We were talking earlier this week, and I asked you, do we get swept this weekend?
We also were talking about sweeping this week. You're talking about at Arkansas?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think so. I know I made a bold take, but I think we take the series at Arkansas. And here's my take, and I'm just saying this because, one, I believe in Jay Johnson.
Okay.
Two, law of averages of baseball, right? LSU baseball is still a good team. Now, I don't know if we're a top 10 team right now. I really don't. I don't think we're a top 10 team. But I do think we are a top 25 team. I think with Tommy White in the middle of the order, Travinski, Jared Jones, and some of those other role players that are really good. I think with Luke Holman as a true ace, and I think Gage Jump is a great number 2 pitcher, I do think we have the ability to take a series at Arkansas. Arkansas has started off 5-1 in the SEC. I think it's unlikely that they are 8-1 at the end of the weekend. I think that's super unlikely. I don't think we get swept. And I think that there is a chance that we take the series where it looks like now LSU would be 4-5, in the SEC. That sounds a little bit more palpable than 2-7, and Arkansas being, 6-3 sounds a little bit more realistic. Again, I'm just talking strictly law of averages.
Yeah.
Very rarely do you see such a big gap in the SEC, and especially SEC West, where I think it's better than the SEC East over, I don't know. But a team being 8-1 to start out the first 3 weekends of SEC play just doesn't happen that often. So I could see them losing a couple games. I think it's just law of averages and the way baseball goes. So
okay, so going into the weekend, you just said you'd like to see more Fry. You want to see Jake Brown. What you would have if you're Jay Johnson and you're going up against Arkansas, you know what's happened the past 2 weekends. You're shaking up the lineup. You're pulling those 2 guys, getting a little more action from them. You've got Luke Holman on the mound on Friday, Gage Jump Saturday. Who are you throwing in on Sunday? Is
Cade
it Thatcher? It's
Cade Anderson. I want to see him get a starting role on Sunday. I think he's got the stuff. It looks like he's got the makeup. He's got the resume. The kid has pitched team, all these things coming into college. And just from what I've talking to some of my friends in college baseball that know the game, Cade Anderson is going to be a dude. And why not? I mean, you've already lost 2 weekend series. Are you worried about Thatcher's feelings? I don't know.
Right.
I really don't. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I just and again, I'm not I'm not hating on Thatcher Hurd. I think he has a crucial role on this team. And again, I'll reiterate it: be a first, second rounder, a top 5 rounder for sure, depending on how the rest of the year goes. But again, if he settles into a mid relief role or closer role, and he's throwing 96, 97 with his stuff, there's no reason he can't be a top 3 rounder. Second, top 2 rounder. So. I don't know. Those are the things that I would like to see. Or let Thatcher go through the order once on Sunday. Just let him go through the order once.
Because he did well on Sunday.
100%.
Through the first 4 innings. And then you kind of said, when the guys see it enough, eventually they're going to start putting the bat on the ball, and
right.
it's gonna go sour.
Yep. That just seems to be the way it is for Thatcher right now.
Right.
And that's it. And again, when he gets some, different opportunities in pro ball to take the ball every 5 days and they're working on specific things, I think that changes a lot in professional baseball. But again, when you're trying to win right now at this level, and that Sunday game is so crucial, especially in a series against Florida, those things matter a lot.
Carl Dunn said he agrees. Anderson on Sunday, Hurd in the bullpen.
Yeah. I mean, imagine this, right? Imagine Luke Holman goes 6 1/3, and you bring in Thatcher for the 7th and 8th, and or 7th, 8th, and 9th, and he finishes the end of the game and goes through the order one time, and you get a solid win on Friday night against Arkansas. Gage Jump comes and pitches 6 solid innings on Saturday. Maybe the bats start out hot, and you get 2 wins right away against Arkansas. That is very realistic. That is and then you have a solid freshman with 0 pressure on him with 2 wins on Friday and Saturday. Where, hey, dude, just keep us in the game. Go out. You don't have to win this game. That
right.
kind of stuff. So again, there's a ton of different possibilities, but I would love to see that happen. I really would. Or, like I said earlier in the year, have Thatcher piggyback with Gage Jump. Because Gage is going to have some innings. Oh, you're good?
You're good.
You're good? Oh, media guy, too. What's up? How are you?
Okay, so what's up, Eric? Eric said...
Eric Hart.
Love to see it.
Eric Hart, F45 OG right there.
Really?
Yeah, day one, man. He's, and... I'm pretty sure he still goes to City Square. I'm not 100% sure because I don't see him. He was a 5:15 regular, but Eric is an OG, one of our big supporters of F45. We wouldn't be where we were with F45 without Eric Hart, and he's a huge LSU sports fan for sure. Army man
thanks
too.
For hanging out.
Army man too. So appreciate your service.
Yeah.
Right, Eric?
Respect. Before we keep going, if you're in the chat, if you're watching, please hit the subscribe button. It goes a long way. We're trying to grow the channel. The bigger the channel gets, the more opportunities we have to connect with you guys, to get out in the community and make some awesome content. It's super easy. Hit the button. Does everybody some good. Okay, they win this weekend. What does that do for the team for the rest of the season? Is that a huge momentum change? We talk about momentum a lot. They lose this weekend. Where does that put them moving forward? Like, what do those two things do?
Yeah, Jordy asked me this on his radio show yesterday. He's like, what if we get swept? That's a tough look for LSU if that's the case.
It's not out of the question.
No, it's definitely not out of the question.
I don't want to be negative, but
no, it's definitely not out of the question. I just believe in Luke Holman. When you have an ace like that on Friday, It's hard. You know, it's and the way he pitched against Florida, I feel confident about it. I do. I like, but if they get swept at Arkansas, they're in a dark place. What's that? That makes them 2-7. I mean, shaking up the lineup and the pitching staff, I don't even think is the right term at that point. I don't know what else you do. Or do you just ride it out and just say, hey, we're a good team and it's going to click for us at the right time? In 08, I'm trying to remember how we started off, but we won 23 games in a row, which means our last 4 series we swept. Like, you know, so that's a big, and we won 20 games in the SEC West, so 12 of those 20 came in the last 4 series. So again, right, you just never know what clicks at the right time, what guys start filling certain roles. I don't know. This team still has some really quality players. Again, it's still very early. So
absolutely, and I'm not saying they don't. I think there's just a lot of things that still need to be figured out, and Cade talked about it at the beginning of the show. The chemistry that the team had last year and that core, the guys who went 4 or 5 years playing together, you basically reloaded this roster. And that was a huge marketing term they used before the season of reloading, you know, not rebuilding, reloading. But you lack that chemistry that you had on last year's team, and that's not to take anything away from Jay Johnson. Again, one of the best coaches in college baseball, but that chemistry is not something that can be forced. That has to be kind of grown throughout time. And I think they're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, but baseball is such a weird game too, right? Like, I mean, we have some transfers, we got some new guys. Sometimes you need to go through these losses to figure out and bounce back from adversity, right? And let's not forget that last year's team wasn't like this amazing team all year.
People forget that because you remember the end of the season, postseason baseball, and they win the national championship. You completely forget the adversity they also had.
They had Paul Skeens every weekend. That was it. I mean, there were some question marks of who our number 2 starter was for a lot of the year. Ty Floyd obviously fit into that role towards the end, but let's not forget that there was a lot of question marks in our rotation and in our bullpen for a long time. And guys, I said it the whole time last year. You weren't with us yet, but I kept saying if we're going to win a national championship, certain guys got to step up in certain roles, and they did it in the postseason at the right time. And that's kudos to Jay and the coaching staff and things like that. But maybe that's all this team needs, right? Is a couple key wins. You said it. Maybe they go to Arkansas. Maybe they don't. Maybe they get swept this weekend. Maybe then they lose to Vandy. Maybe then they lose to Tennessee. But there's still the back half of the SEC, and if you get hot at the right time, there's a lot of good teams in the SEC that you can beat to get into the postseason, and then that's really when it all matters anyway, right? We talked about that with Florida. They're struggling midweek, and they know how to win on the weekend. So baseball's a funny game like that.
Eric said Hagen Smith is a bad MFer, so Holman will have to be a stud on Thursday. Remember, they play Thursday, Friday, Saturday because Easter is Sunday. So Holman on the mound Thursday night.
I believe Hagen is one of the guys. What's up, man? One of the guys that beat Skeens. Well, he was the starting pitcher, I think, for Arkansas when Skeens had one of his losses last year. So I know he was one of the main pitchers in that game. I don't know if he might have came out of the bullpen because there was he bounced around a little bit last year, but his stuff is absolutely electric from the left side. Baseball America had him as, I think, one of the top 5 picks in the draft. So, yeah, LSU's got their work cut out for him and stuff, but maybe that's when they rise to the occasion. You never know.
Holman's a G, too, so. Carl said, they lost the last 2 series and went 1-2 in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, so. It wasn't feeling great going in. I remember that. It wasn't feeling great going into the regionals, and then, hey, everything clicks at the right time. Even in Omaha, there was they came out of the losers bracket. So, again, good teams win at the right times. It's just a matter of getting there, like Cade said. So when they got there last year, it was like, hey, this is the first step to winning a national championship is getting to Omaha. They got there. They figured out how to win. And that's what matters. So.
And, I mean, you heard from one of Jay's guys from last year, like, he thinks it's crazy that people are hitting the panic button. And, you know, he seemed very confident and collected, calm in what Jay's doing. There is no panic from guys that know Jay and know his coaching ability. We're just LSU, or not we, but the LSU fan base tends to get dramatic at times.
Yep.
However, you're on the cusp of maybe there might be some things that need to be figured the hell out.
Yep. Definitely need to be figured out, but we'll get there.
There's no question about that. But
any other questions in the chat? We got some new people in the chat, so if anybody's in here and wants to fire away at us before we wrap up, we're probably going to wrap up in 5-10 minutes, something like that. Maybe sooner, but Don Juan's, I think, is sick of us, but I'm just kidding. This place is absolutely...
Come in here and move furniture and put up really bright lights.
Yeah.
And people are waiting to see if they can pass in front of the camera to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but it is. If you guys are in Baton Rouge and you guys enjoy a cigar, you like that atmosphere, Don Juan Cigar Bar is an absolutely great spot for that. They have some great hospitality, some great management, great bartenders and stuff like that. Abby's got a cigar in her hand. She's thinking about lighting it up.
I said 2 weeks ago I would light one up on air.
You took a mini puff?
Then last week I was like, I'm scared, I can't do it. And
you
then
took a mini puff? Yeah.
You lit it for me before the show. We started. I think I took like a tiny little puff and then I put it down. I guess I have to relight it. I got to. We got to have evidence.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a question. Hold on. No, non-baseball related question. LSU women's basketball is UCLA this weekend. What's your guys' take? Are they going home or are they advancing? Oof. UCLA is a 2 seed, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I feel good about the way the momentum is right now. There's something about this Kim Mulkey story for me that's kind of like firing me up and firing the team up where they're like rallying behind her. Just feels like one of those storybook things, these narratives that kind of click when things are happening right. So I don't know. That's my thought. I don't know. I like our chances.
So do I. LSU baseball show, but also there is a little bit of a similar storyline, right? LSU women's basketball started off rocky. The chemistry wasn't there. There were egos. They were trying to figure out how this team was going to be like last year's team, and Mulkey had to come out and say, this isn't the same freaking team. Get over it. Erase it. Close the book from last year. It's a new chapter.
Angel Reese had to get suspended for a little while.
I mean, you saw a lot of adversity from that team in the beginning of the season, and people were questioning, and God, people hit the panic button after game 1 when they lost to Colorado in Vegas. And they're in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
They pulled it together. They faced a lot of up and downs. You lost, I mean, Samaya Smith hurt. Kateri Poole no longer with the team. Angel gets suspended. Haley Van Lith is out for plantar fasciitis for a little bit. Last-year Poa is out for, I mean, constant adversity, and they still find themselves in a position to be successful, which similar storyline to where LSU baseball could be in a couple weeks. You're facing a lot of adversity, completely different team. People are hitting the panic button, questioning some of the best coaches across college sports, Kim Mulkey, Jay Johnson, and you're questioning or screaming for them to be fired.
Yeah.
So you got some similarities here, and I don't doubt that LSU baseball kind of figures it out the same way that basketball has found themselves in Sweet 16 this weekend. Going back to the question, though, are they advancing or going home? I think they advance. Now, I do. No hesitation.
Does anybody know what the betting line is, just out of curiosity in the chat? I was just wondering if we're a favorite or not. Like,
I'll ask. Hey, find out if LSU's the favorite.
It'll probably just be on the bottom of, like, if you go to like the. Maybe you could Google it too. I don't even know. But
well, we talk about momentum a lot, and that's a huge theme in sports.
Yeah.
You've got not a scandal, but Kim Mulkey's name is in the headlines, not because she did anything wrong, but because she called out the media.
Yeah, they haven't dropped that. Let's see, got to stop their 6'7" player for UCLA. Yeah, I like Angel bodying up with a 6'7" player. I like that. We got some size. It's just our depth is the thing that always scares me. Right, this year we've kind of said that without Samaya too. Especially on the height, but. Del Rosario, yeah, she's gonna come in there. She'll bang a little bit. That's a big thing though, absolutely. What's that? Ooh, a 7-point?
I figured. But
So they're a 1-point favorite? So it's UCLA -1. I like that.
But I believe I've heard Kim Mulkey say she likes being the dog.
The underdog, yeah.
So, Eric said the game's at noon Eastern time, so 9 a.m. UCLA time.
That could be a big thing.
Early start for the Bruins.
Yeah, that could be a big thing.
These little things add up. So you've got the
100%.
motivation of a freaking scandal, and Kim Mulkey's fired up, catching national attention. Her girls are behind her.
Nothing has come out yet about that, right? That story and stuff.
No, she did say she's threatened to sue.
No, I know,
obviously,
yeah. But I'm saying there was in my group chat, a couple of my friends were talking about the article is going to come out, so I just didn't know.
No, I haven't heard any updates on that yet.
Yeah, let's see.
But I mean, an early game between that and just the way that they have progressed throughout the season, and you've seen the chemistry get better and better, and the egos are kind of pushed aside out of the way now. And I don't know.
Let's see. I'm looking at some of the stats for the LSU. Ooh. LSU's 1-3 versus the top 25. That's not great. And UCLA has played 14 games against the top 25. They're 9-5. That's
well,
that's a little scary.
What I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but I was just being honest. I'm just being honest.
Narrative.
Strength of schedule though is not crazy different, like overall, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. There's a lot of action though with LSU sports this weekend, so it'll be fun.
I was gonna say, yeah, a lot of attention. Big state games.
The dummy author for that story is a South Carolina grad. Weird.
Figures.
Yeah, weird.
Figures.
Yeah, weird. Again, modern media too nowadays. I mean, like, what do we believe, right? Like, I know we don't want to, like, but fake news is such a thing. It's really like very, very subjective. You get people paid to do things, and so that makes a ton of sense, Eric. Like, that's what I'm saying is like that's kind of crazy just to think about that you could have somebody trying to slander somebody's name just to kind of better their program that they're an alumni of too, right? Like.
But what an idiot to do it to Kim Mulkey. That is the last person you would try to start some shit.
That's what I'm saying is like, and if you're a South Carolina fan, wouldn't you be like, dude, just shut up. Just wait till the season's over, because does Kim Mulkey need a fire under her ass? No. Like, she knows how to use that shit to her advantage too, right? Like, you see all the players rallying around her. Like, is South Carolina not like, like, we could have just done without this. Like, we beat them twice already, you know? Like, I don't know. If I'm a South Carolina fan, I'm kind of salty about that. Of like, why now? Why is this the timing that we're pushing for this story?
Why did you add fuel to that fire?
Yeah, exactly. So
good, thank you.
As an LSU fan, I'm fine with it. I really am. I like the narrative. I believe in Kim. So
yeah. Well.
Yeah.
You about ready to wrap it up?
I'm ready.
Let's wrap it up.
I appreciate everybody in the chat. This was awesome.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yep.
You know,
it's a late
10
night.
o'clock on a Tuesday. It's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
But we will be back on Saturday. Again, no game on Sunday because it is Easter Sunday. So LSU Baseball hits the road to face Arkansas Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We will be back at Modesto on Saturday. I believe our start time is we're going for 4. 4 p.m.
4
And
p.m.
lucky
Sounds
for
great.
you guys, if y'all are into LSU sports, maybe some former LSU athletes you want to hear from. Taryn Cloth and Kristen.
You're good.
You are so good.
Yeah,
Y'all are good. Y'all are good. Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss, former LSU beach volleyball players who just qualified for the 2024 Paris Olympics. We are so lucky that we get to host their podcast. But they have a documentary.
It's like a
little
20-minute video.
Whatever. It's really cool. It's
20-minute
premiering
video
this weekend, and we'll be doing a live Q&A with them Saturday evening. I think we're going to aim for 7:45, 8 o'clock. We'll put a graphic out to let you guys know when that's going to take place, but they're going to be doing a live Q&A with Anthony talking about their journey and how they're prepping for the Olympics. So we got some great content coming at y'all. We tell y'all to subscribe all the time, and that's why, because it's not just LSU baseball. It's not just LSU women's basketball. We've got Olympians in our backyard who hang out with us every so often to tell their stories. We try to do interviews with Big Brother guests and athletes on campus. So we've got something for everybody. Hit that sub button and hang out with us when you can.
Yeah.
We'll be
Eric
back.
wants to know when you're taking over for Laura Rutledge.
That's the dream, huh? She does a great job. She's a great role model. Hopefully one day that'll happen. But I like where I'm at. I like my job here.
Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate you. And again, appreciate everybody in here. Yeah, and we'll be back soon. But if you guys are in Baton Rouge, you guys want to come check out that at Cards and Culture this weekend. I think we're shooting for a 7 p.m. Start time on the video.
On the premiere.
So we'll have the doors open after hours. We close at 6, but we'll keep them open. If you guys want to stop by, I think we're going to have some complimentary drinks from 7-3 Distillery, that kind of stuff.
Maybe some St. Rock. Y'all can try it. I talk about it all the time.
There'll definitely be some St. Rock there, but maybe some other stuff too. So stop in, say hello. Say hello to the future Olympians.
Yeah, they're
That'll
awesome.
be representing us in Paris and probably be somewhat of a favorite to win some sort of medal. Let's be standing on the podium, so.
We'd love to see gold, but
Yep.
Anyway works. All right, you ready to go? We
Yes.
appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all soon.